Have you ever felt like you give everything, yet something still feels missing? It's not a lack of desire, interest, or energy. The truth is, no one ever really taught us how the female body works. Most men believe that connection and pleasure depend on strength, speed, or intensity. But a woman's body doesn't respond to haste. It responds to precision, rhythm, and attention. And once you understand that, the way you connect changes forever. Today, I want you to imagine something different. A sensory map made up of 3 zones that, if awakened in the right order, can completely transform the experience between 2 bodies. It doesn't matter if you're 30 or 70. This isn't about youth. It's about presence. True power doesn't come from physical strength, but from the quality of your focus and your ability to listen to the body. The first point lies in the upper area, where the sensory pulse begins. Never start directly in the center of sensitivity. The body doesn't open to those who rush. It opens to those who know how to move gently, to listen, and to awaken slowly. Your hands should be warm and steady, your movements firm but gentle. Imagine your fingers tracing an invisible line across a delicate surface, as if every touch sent a signal to the brain. The pressure should be present but never intrusive, like adjusting a fine piece of jewelry with care and precision. When her breathing starts to synchronize with yours, when the air slows down and the atmosphere thickens, you'll know you found the right rhythm. If it doesn't happen immediately, don't push harder. Change the angle, the movement, or the tempo. Sometimes a small adjustment is enough for the body to respond. The most common mistake is going straight to the center, seeking a quick reaction. But that zone should be left for when the body is ready. This isn't a race, it's a symphony, and every note must arrive in its time. The second point lies along the sides, areas many overlook but that serve as true amplifiers of sensitivity. They act as energy valves, distributing warmth and activating the body's response. Here, touch should be rhythmic, steady, and guided by breath. It's not about intensity, but about following the body's natural flow. Press, pause, and release. As if marking a pulse, the body begins to follow instinctively. This motion improves circulation, awakens awareness, and creates a sense of expansion. Imagine a wave traveling slowly from one side to the other, steady and enveloping. When movement is coherent, the body responds naturally, seeking continuity. If things feel stable, connect this point to the first with a gentle, almost symbolic motion, an invisible line from the upper area to the sides. The key here is not speed but constancy and sustained rhythm. The female body responds better to coherence than to haste. The third point is at the pelvic base, the most subtle yet powerful center. It's an anchor between calm and vitality, a point where the body grounds itself and activates simultaneously. Here, touch should be broad, steady, and encompassing, as if drawing an invisible arc around the body's foundation. Don't seek pressure, seek presence. Your goal is to awaken the natural reflex that connects breath, balance, and awareness. If the body responds with small movements or subtle shifts, you're in tune. If not, slow down, breathe deeper, and stay focused. For older men or those with less manual strength, the palm can be your best ally. It's not about power, but coordination and mindfulness. If your partner isn't familiar with this type of sensory connection, proceed slowly, from the outside inward, respecting each level of response. This point isn't conquered, it's accompanied. And once you learn to accompany, there's no need to rush anything. Now imagine uniting all this into a sequence. Start for 1 minute on the sides to prepare, move for 45 seconds to the upper area to awaken energy, and finish with 30 seconds at the base to integrate the response. Repeat the cycle twice, and on the second round, reverse the order. As you do, visualize a current connecting all 3 points, an invisible bridge of rhythm, breath, and attention. It's not a technique, it's a silent conversation between 2 nervous systems. You don't need to keep asking if you're doing it right. The body will tell you. If breathing pauses or shoulders tense, ease the pressure but keep the rhythm. If she exhales deeply, continue. That's the moment when sensation becomes connection. The most common mistake is stopping right when trust begins. Stability is worth more than force. Breaking rhythm is like blowing out a flame. Fire doesn't need more air, it needs consistency and care. Before starting, warm your hands by rubbing them together. Keep something nearby that provides comfort or hydration. Respect is shown through attention to detail. Find a comfortable position, maybe with a cushion under your partner's hips to protect your back. If your hands tire, alternate them. Breathe together. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6. It centers your rhythm and enhances perception. And if your tactile sensitivity has faded with time, thin gloves can help you feel temperature and texture more clearly. You'll know you're on the right path when the skin changes temperature, when breathing deepens, and when silence fills the space. That silence isn't absence, it's communication. If you sense an interruption, don't withdraw, return to the earlier rhythm, rebuild trust, and let the body recalibrate. Nothing is lost, it only stabilizes. Well-being isn't a straight line, it's a curve that rises, falls, and rises again. Avoid abrupt movements, sudden shifts, or lack of rhythm. True art lies not in reaching an end, but in sustaining the harmonious ascent. The female body doesn't seek intensity, it seeks balance and coherence. Often, it can reach a state of fulfillment without direct focus, as long as all 3 areas are synchronized. When you're in that moment, avoid unnecessary words. A single phrase is enough, like this or a little less, and let the body respond. If it's the first time exploring this kind of connection, agree on a simple word to pause or adjust. Respect doesn't interrupt desire, it transforms it into trust. And when there's trust, connection becomes infinite. I want you to put this into practice exactly as you heard it. 2 cycles of 6 or 7 minutes, with short pauses of 10 to 15 seconds to breathe together between each zone. No rush, no goal of reaching an immediate result, only presence. And if you truly pay attention, you'll notice something fascinating. It's not only your partner who reacts, you'll also begin to feel something different. It's as if an invisible current ran through your body, aligning both of you, bringing your breathing, rhythm, and calmness into the same frequency. Few men know this, but the female body has sensory memory. The areas you've activated, the upper zone, the sides, and the pelvic base, can become more and more receptive when they're approached with consistency and respect. The secret isn't in constant variation, but in training the neuromuscular response. Each time you repeat a stable pattern, the brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with well-being, trust, and shared pleasure. It's literally the body learning how to relax and enjoy more deeply. And that's where your advantage as a mature man lies. You're no longer ruled by haste, but by attention. Your energy expresses itself through calmness, not impulse. You're not trying to impress, you're trying to connect. And that, more than any technique, is what amplifies mutual experience and genuine desire. Women in their 40s or 50s often develop a greater depth of sensory awareness than most imagine. Their bodies no longer respond to immediate stimulus, but to rhythm and harmony. They've learned to recognize the signs of pleasure and to sustain them. They're no longer quick sparks that fade, they're steady flames that burn with calm and constancy. If you learn to accompany that process, you'll understand that they don't seek constant intensity, but continuity. They can experience multiple waves of well-being without exhaustion, as long as you maintain calmness and rhythm. It's not about pushing, it's about sustaining the ascent without breaking the connection. Learn to read what her body communicates, when she exhales slowly, when her breath pauses for a moment, or when silence fills the air. That's not the end. It's the prelude to a new sensory cycle. Don't change the rhythm abruptly. Just slow down a bit, let the body rest for a few seconds, and then resume movement naturally. It's like gently landing a plane before taking off again, maintaining balance between action and pause. There's something rarely taught that can change everything, the so-called rebound effect. After a phase of intense sensory stimulation, the female body needs a few seconds of thermal rest, about 10 to 15, but the tissues remain active. If you maintain gentle contact or mindful attention during that moment, whether at the sides or at the pelvic base, the next response will arrive stronger, deeper, and more connected. This principle, originally used in pelvic physiotherapy, becomes a powerful tool for emotional reconnection and energetic balance when applied to conscious intimacy. There's also a fascinating phenomenon. The nerves surrounding the female pelvis are directly connected to the vagus nerve, the same one that regulates breathing, heart rhythm, and states of calm. This means that when both of you breathe in unison while staying present, you're stimulating not just the body, but the entire autonomic nervous system. It's not only physical well-being, it's a complete psychoneurological experience. That's why some women may laugh, tremble, or even release tears. It's not weakness, it's the body releasing dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, substances linked to emotional balance and trust. And you can accompany that process without moving, simply by remaining attentive, breathing with her, and allowing the energy to settle. Many men ask, how do I know when to continue, or when it's enough? The answer lies in temperature and silence. If the skin goes from warm to hot and then cools slightly, that's not the moment to pull away, it's the moment to stay. That stillness generates a deep sense of safety and connection. Most men stop exactly at that point and miss the most powerful moment. Stay. Accompany. Let calmness guide the process. The next rise will come on its own, and when it does, the body responds naturally and completely. There's one last principle that few know, and it's not about strength, but about rhythmic precision and breath coordination. It's the simultaneous connection between the upper zone and the base. You don't need to complicate things. One hand can stay on the upper area, another can support the sides, and a gentle contact or light pressure at the base can follow the rhythm of breathing. When you synchronize that movement with pulse and breath, the body enters a natural reflex of expansion and deep relaxation. At that point, the experience stops being physical. It becomes emotional and fully sensory. She isn't losing control. She's releasing the need to control. That's why mature women excel in this kind of connection. They're not seeking speed. They're seeking conscious surrender. Their bodies don't need to be convinced. They need to feel accompanied. When you achieve that, you're no longer doing something to her. You're both flowing within the same current. So next time you have the opportunity, don't see it as a technique. See it as an exercise in calm and synchrony. No expectations, no rush, only breathing and presence. Ask yourself, which part of her body responds first? The upper, the sides, or the base? Observe it, feel it, discover it. And if you wish, share it in the comments, because I read them all. Maybe in the next video, I'll show you how to maintain that sensory response for several minutes, effortlessly, without losing calmness, and with complete emotional control.